Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Today, I got a very, very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
Sure. My name is Rebecca Height. I am from the Philadelphia area of Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. So what is the weather? Is it snowing yet over there, or
N-
is it
No,
like turning bipolar?
it's like trying to make up its mind. It's supposed to be 60 something today, but it feels like it's 50. I will see what the day brings. I honestly, whenever the season comes, I don't like being really, really, really hot, but I'm always so thankful that the season's happening at all. Like the earth hasn't blown up yet. We're here. It's okay.
I like that. I like that. So can we talk about your past leading up into your present, extensive, however deep you want to get into?
Sure. Yeah, so I I entered the workforce when I was fresh 16. I worked at Dairy Queen, was my first job, and I worked like in food industry my whole life. I moved, so I lived in Pennsylvania, and I moved to Colorado. I joined the team of Pizza Hut over there. I was a restaurant general manager. I moved back. I was a district manager. So food and standards and just customer service was ingrained in me. I love it. I love people. And then I moved to financing, but I found that I was missing something. Like when you're searching, you're always searching for something when you're an adult, even as a child or a teen. And I started writing again. I started doing art again and painting. And so now I'm a self-published author, and I love the stories that I get to tell and hear from other people. And I moved into script writing, and now I'm CEO of Height Films, and I work and collaborate with people all over the world.
Oh, wow. So where were you initially born, and which town was you primary raised in, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, not a problem at all. So I was actually born in Syracuse, New York, and then my family moved here. Sorry, in Pennsylvania, because you don't know what I'm talking about. In Pennsylvania, when I was in third grade, I was raised in Royersford, which is like a smaller town here, by King of Prussia, Philadelphia area. And I don't know, I hit 21 and I was like, I'm gonna take on the world. As you do when you're that young. And I moved to Colorado on a whim, and I ended up staying there for 10 years. I moved to Raton, New Mexico for 3 years, for Pizza Hut. I did that for the job. And then I moved back here, to the Royersford area for my family a couple years ago.
What did you actually accomplish when you were in Colorado?
I learned so much. I am a sponge of experiences and knowledge. Like I really appreciate what a lot of people have to offer. I'm not always great at boundaries, but I've learned so much. Like about I'm a science person, I'm a history person, anthropology, so a lot of nature over there. They got red rocks, they got amazing hiking spots where you could feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, but the city's just below you. I've learned about history of different towns, and like there's a volcano in New Mexico you can walk around. Like it's just phenomenal. It really makes you have to take assessment of yourself a little bit, because the city, like it's a city, but it's also like um there's that expansiveness that you're like, okay, so what am I going to do with all this space now? Because you also have that reflection in yourself. At least I did. Not everyone does that.
That's amazing. What personal milestone did you and your spouse celebrate at the Elmwood Zoo?
Oh, we got married. We got married at the zoo.
That's cool. Tell me
That's so
about
cool.
it.
Yeah, that was oh my gosh, it was so fun. We were looking at venues. We're very Renaissance kind of people. We love the whole fantasy genre, and we were figuring out, and I just randomly saw that Elmwood was allowing like it wasn't a full-on wedding. It was like a I forget what it's called, like an elopement package, but it allowed a certain amount of people, because it was during quarantine. You know, we had to be careful during quarantine, at the end of quarantine, I should say. And so we love animals. So the thing about animals is they never really change, but every single city we go to, we always end up at the zoo. They're the same animals, but we love looking at them. They're freaking beautiful. And so
Where
it made perfect sense.
where exactly what section of the zoo did you get married? Was it the lion section? Wherever? Which section did you get married at
So
in the
they recently redid it. We were one of the last people to get married in front of the eagles. It's like it was literally in front of the bald eagles. So you walk in and the first thing you see is the bald eagles at that time. And they were like, "You're gonna be right here." We had a choice, and I was like, "Open space, absolutely." So literally we were doing our vows and stuff, and the eagles are just like, you know, doing their little call in the back, and I was like, "This is amazing."
What did it mean to you? I know that that's a token in your life that you
Yeah.
will never forget, but in your own words, what did it mean to you to marry your spouse that you're going to be with for almost the rest of your life?
It meant everything. So my spouse and I have been together for 19 years. We officially, yeah, it's quite a journey. Without not without struggles. I would like it's not a perfect ride. Sometimes we don't really like each other, but we love each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, so like it was everything. I mean, she looked absolutely stunning that day. We did a hand fasting. So what we did was we did coat of arm colors of my last name and her last name, and we braided it together. It was more than just like a wedding. It was like an intricate of our lives together, and like my best friend officiated. In Pennsylvania. Anyone can officiate as long as you get the marriage license. So my best friend since third grade officiated. I mean, it was just a beautiful, absolutely a beautiful ceremony.
What
And it meant the world.
struggles what struggles have you went through for being LGBTQ, because I know y'all go through struggles and my heart goes out to you guys wholeheartedly. But what struggles have you endured and how did you overcome those struggles?
So there's a couple. It really depends. Every area of anywhere you go responds differently. The biggest thing that I have to always remember is I can't control other people's responses. I can only control what's in my vicinity, which is how do we adapt to what's happening? How do we stay safe, and et cetera, like that. Because arguing and fighting with someone is not going to change anything about anything. So there's a couple of times I would like she had to go to the emergency room, and I wasn't allowed back there, even though I was her primary person. Like I was her person. Um, we weren't married at that time, so we were just, girlfriends. But they wouldn't let me calm her. She has anxiety, so they wouldn't let me calm her down. She's freaking out and she's hurt, and I'm like, you're making this harder on yourself. So I really had to sort of fight them, and I don't actually physically mean fighting, but like argue with them to be like, hey, you will have a better time if you let me like hold her hand, like for the sake of health and safety. You need to let me back there, even if it's you don't believe I should be there. I don't care. Like this, for the sake of the patient, I need to be back there and calm her down.
Yeah, I feel like that's messed up. You are a person, you're not one third of a person, just because you're LGBTQ. So yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. So what is the title of your LGBTQ fantasy fiction series, and can you name all four books in it?
Yep. So my first one, so it's called the Acceptance series. The first one is The Beginning. The second one is The Reality. Third one is Reborn. And the fourth one is Reconcile. And they correlate with the emotions of going through a very difficult process. And I did that on purpose because life is not easy and you constantly have to work on what you're working on. So the beginning is accepting that something has different or changed. The reality of that acceptance is usually a lot fiercer than what we realize, um, because an idea and the reality of a change is actually completely different, and our life is flipped upside down. And how do you navigate that? And that's the book series. It's navigating through. So the book series will be 5 films. The first film I'm working on is Secrets of the Warrior, which is the embodiment of the first book.
Okay, and navigating through change starting with the beginning. Tell me more in depth about the beginning.
Yeah, so the story is based off of Selena. She's bisexual. She doesn't really define herself. It's one of those things where she's just living life and she likes people and energy. And she was hidden away. It's mystical ability, so it's fantasy. It's considered a also a thriller because there's fighting in it, there's romance in it. Um, but she's hidden away and she doesn't exactly know why, and she's kept a secret for her safety. That's all she knows. And then things unfold that cause her to face a bigger understanding of, hey, something else is going on that I don't know. And the story is essentially her coming to realization that her world is bigger than she realized it was, and there's a lot of secrets, and her finding out those secrets.
Okay. And the IMDb page. Tell me about the IMDb page. What it meant to you to put the show together, and what was it you put together?
Yeah, so my it's IMDb. First of all, I apologize. My cat has found her way up here, so there's meowing. Firstly, sorry.
It's okay.
Secondly, secondly, IMDb is a very, like in my mind, a very official kind of. Whenever I need to search an artist or any kind of person in film, I always look at IMDb. So as soon as I started making my own page, I was like, oh man, I'm doing it. Like, this is me following my dreams. Like, I'm making it happen. It wasn't other people making it happen. It was me making it happen. I put it together. I put the information together. I won the awards for the scripts and the stories, and I got to write it on there. And it made it, every struggle and misunderstanding I had of myself, it validated it in that moment. It was just absolutely spectacular. So as I added each of my projects on there, and I attached the people that I've been talking with, like Amber from England or Sharni from Australia or producers from LA, and just made it more realistic, more concrete. And I would do like a little happy dance, yeah, I'm doing the things. Yeah, so I mean, it's phenomenal.
And I've seen that either your coworker or your girlfriend, they dressed up as a witch, and I know that there's good witches and bad witches. So symbolize what what was the witch scene, and how did it mean to you? Because I know there's good in everything.
Yes, there is good. So the reels you're talking about is Brittany Starr. She's one of my business partners. I adore her so much. We're all neurospicy or neurodivergent. We have autism, and so we just come up with the funniest little skit. Well, she mostly does it, and I just applaud her. So she is very much a good witch, and she finds the good in a lot of different things. Like, life isn't easy, and I can't express, like, everyone's journey is different. I cannot express that enough. Her story is so astounding. Um, and she still wakes up, smiles, and makes these little skits, puts on her little witch hats and costumes and stuff like that. Um, but the point I always say is we wake up with those choices to look at the brighter side of things, regardless of what our past history and trauma have been. And so her and I work very closely on trying to do our best to broadcast that. with the videos and the projects we work on.
I really like it. It was really, robust and to the point, and I like the way y'all, the narrative and everything. So y'all are doing a good job, and I'm glad that you're getting critique from LA and Australia and everywhere else. So how is Miss Height's religion? What is Miss Height's religion?
Sure. I am technically what is it called? Omniist, an omniist. So what that means is that I um appreciate all religions, and I believe that there's truth in all religions. There are pieces of every religion that is a bit more extreme because of time and word of mouth. Like if you ever in kindergarten or elementary school whisper down the lane and
Yeah,
someone says
yeah.
something to you at the end, it's completely different. Like that's how I view time in religion. Is it gets a little distorted and a little messed up sometimes. But the truth of it is appreciating, always appreciating a higher being, appreciating ourselves, and appreciating other people. So I, as a self-proclaimed historian, have done a lot of research Native American customs and what their stories are. And I'll look at Hindu, and I was raised Jewish. My dad was a priest, so Christianity, and like I'll even go to like Aztec, and like I just like to know as much as humanly possible. I personally like to believe about energy and like spirits. Everything has like an energy and a spirit, and you need to appreciate and respect everything. Ask for permission from a tree, that kind of thing. You can call me a tree hugger if you want. That's okay. But like I appreciate the world in general, and and that's considered more spirituality than anything. But it's the open mind and respectfulness that I think we need to grab onto.
Do you use crystals in your
I do.
house? Yeah,
Yeah.
crystals are pretty cool. What
Yes.
kind of crystals do you use, by the way, in your world?
I I like to. It really depends. So I like um hematite when needed, tourmaline when needed, tiger's eye, um, green jade, amethyst is my favorite. Rose as well is one of my favorites. There's one I always have difficulty remembering. It's a white one with black lines. It starts with an M. I just can't ever remember what it is. But that one also, I love that one for creativity when I'm really feeling like I need to create some stuff. It's great for artists. And I have earrings and a necklace of it that I wear around when I'm like, let's go discover something. Like,
For the audience out there that doesn't know about crystals, tell my audience why crystals are so important in people world.
mm,
Yeah.
yes. So we all have energy. Our bodies are combined of like science, blood vessels, et cetera, like that. But it also is energy, um, which is amplified, or I don't want to say changed, but like if I'm too far to the left and I need to be more centered, I will choose a crystal that will help align me a little bit better or amplify my intentions or what I want to manifest, etc. So crystals are just a tool to make those happen. It's to amplify or protect or to redirect a little bit better to help us, because when we get in those little funks or a little depression or a little stuck in our head, those crystals help clear that up. So it's like selenite is the, in my opinion, top tier, like cleansing crystal, like cleanses other crystals. It helps cleanse you, like it helps cleanse your space. It helps clear up all of that clogged stuff in your body and helps you reset. So it's just, they're tools essentially.
I noticed that people that have crystals are more nice to other people with crystals, because I don't know why, but I've noticed that, you can tell a person that has a crystal based on how relaxed and how open they are for knowledge and to get
Yeah,
knowledge,
yeah.
um, I wanted to know, you've done a lot of traveling. Tell me throughout your travels about your culture, the cultures you ran into over the years.
Sure. So I've been up and down the East Coast. I've been in Colorado, as you know. I've been through Arizona, Colorado. I've been in England. I've been in France. I've been in Bulgaria, um, Canada, and I always do my best. I mean, again, who I am now is not who I was when I was 19. I'd like to start with that. It took me years to build myself and understand myself enough to get here right now. So as I travel through, it's just the understanding of if I don't understand their language, is there a place we can meet in the middle to sort of like correspond? I use my phone or something like that, but they all have their own thing. So when I went to Bulgaria, their dancing isn't like our dancing. It's very unique. So I was taught their dancing, and so I would join them in how they dance. Um, and then like appreciating everyone has such beautiful art. I cannot express how, no matter what country or what language anyone speaks, their art is so beautiful. Like in Bulgaria, their spray painting art on the walls are absolutely phenomenal. I was blown away, and it's everywhere. And it's like there's a certain heaviness around because of the general history, but the history is like Greek. There's some Greek in there. There's some Hellenistic in there. There's some Russian in there. There's like it's so multi-layered. It was just fun. I love art. I love what people have to offer and respect the history that is in everything. Um, in France, again, there are like artists all communicate, I feel like, the same to each other, like regardless of the language. Like I was in Paris, I was looking at paintings. I didn't really know that much French, but like we communicated in a way that we appreciated it still. Yeah. There's so much I could say about it.
And the food, like what was the difference between Bulgaria and France? I hope
So
I
French,
said that right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like French food, it was when I was younger. It was probably about 20 years ago I was in France. It's been a little bit. I remember there being like I love bread, and so they love bread, and I really appreciated that. But like their breakfast was not so much eggs, but it was like dried fruit and nuts and healthier and stuff like that. Um, really great food. I mean everyone, and then in Bulgaria the food was there was more American restaurants there, like burgers and stuff, but they also had great bread items like with cheese and stuff. They had I forget what it was called, but it was an appetizer for one of the restaurants, and I could not eat enough of it. Like, it's so good. Like, but their pastries, oh my gosh, I've never seen such beautiful pastries. European pastries are a whole next level. Just, it's freaking art. I love it. And the ice cream was every flavor. They let you taste it. And it was just, they really understand food for sure.
I hear that they don't put the same ingredients that's in America in food that's European. They
Not at
they
all.
gluten and yeah, that's pretty cool. And what I to get off that subject and move to a different subject, where do you see yourself going with everything you've accomplished for the future?
Yeah, so I'm moving a lot more into film now. I love bringing people together. That's my general, I don't know, I don't say message in all of my stories is bringing people together, regardless of their background. So film to me is that thing. We all love the story. We're all interested in story, no matter where in the world we are, no matter our backgrounds, and to make it happen. And so I definitely see, I'll keep writing books for sure, self-publishing, but I feel like film is where my future is, and where I think the world is going to start changing more to indie films and and then Hollywood films, if you will, because it has a certain authenticity and the stories are a little different. And but I feel like that's where it is right now. I like to find people in the nooks and crannies and be like, hey, like, talk to me a little bit about yourself and what your goals are, and then bring them on the team. So I find the ones that are ready to go, ready to starving for new stuff, but no one knows they exist, you know?
What's the difference between indie and Hollywood films?
So the difference is, honestly, the biggest thing is budget. For example, Secrets of the Warrior, my budget is $4 million, which is nothing to Hollywood world. Like, the bigger studios are spending $50 to $100 million on stuff. But there's so much gatekeeping in Hollywood. They won't let you talk to people. You're not important enough to have conversations or whatever like that. So getting into this smaller budget with some people won't even talk to me if it's not 10 million. And I'm not going to make it 10. I could make it 10 million, but it's unrealistic. There's no reason. Why would I do that? You know, like, for investors, because it comes down to, you know, who feels safe investing money in films. Yes, the big studios have the money and the backing and the names of artists and directors, but that doesn't mean they're going to do well. Not anymore. Like, look at the more popular ones that have sort of not done well in the theaters, and it's going to streaming instead of in the theaters if people want to be at home watching it. I mean, the world is changing. So indie is more lesser, I don't want to say lesser name people, but like less people that have Emmy awards or Oscar awards, and they're not considered A-listers or have high IMDb ratings. And then they're individuals who work a little, in my opinion, work a little harder to get things done, because in Hollywood it feels like things are more handed to them on silver platters. So it's like the grit and the grind and the story. I've had individuals say they want to be on the project, but they don't want to do the work. They want me to do the work, but they're not. I'm not going to let them on the project if they're not going to put the work in. Like, that's like, you can't just coast your way through just because you have a fancy name and some background.
Well said. Well said. How can the people reach you, Rebecca?
Yeah, so I have an Instagram. Secrets of the Warrior feature film is my film Instagram. My personal Instagram is Height Bristow Revolution. I love it. It makes me laugh every time. That's my Instagram. Sorry. And I have a TikTok as well, Rebecca Height. And so my personal email, if you feel like reaching out and asking for any information, is books@rebeccaheight.com. I will do my best to respond to you in a timely manner.
I wish nothing but the best of luck. I have to ask this question though.
Sure.
What would you tell indie films of why you feel like your films would make it and not flop? What would be your catch hook for indie films?
Yeah, so I'm very thorough by nature, just who I am. I'm the type of person who works on step 1, 5, and 7 at the same time. So what I mean by that is I already have some marketing in place for some of my films. When they're made, it just can go, it's already there. I don't have to search or hunt or anything for them. I'm already in talk with distribution companies. The films aren't even made yet because they're interested. And I already have editing in place, ready to go. When it's made, it can get edited. I just have to ship it off to them. So the difference between the difference between select indie films and the ones I'm working on is that I work on the script is done. I'm finding the actors, but I'm also working on the music right now. So when it's time editing, I don't have to find it. It's already found and the agreement's already put in. You just have to pay them. So I have different steps in place already. So the streaming process of the pipeline of film from start to finish will be faster.
Well said, Rebecca. Thank you. Stay on the line. Thank you, everybody, for joining my show today. Hi, NYC girl. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Never waste my time, you all I want.